$7 for 10 slices of cheese? I need to get the fuck out of the US.
$75 for 3 steaks. Do you think that's ridiculous? Last week I was here, it was $70 for 3 steaks. Now it's $75.
Because I'm looking for some ground beef for my lasagna and also for my spaghetti. I found the ground beef. Why is it $30?
$5.99 for a regular sized bag of Doritos. Are you freaking kidding me?
I told my nephew, go pick out your favorite juice, but
99.10.
nah, nigga, we got water at the crib. Let's go.
This used to be $3 to $4. This is $9.29 for a case of sodas.
Look at this, $3.29 for a regular damn Hershey's bar. You guys are smoking crack.
10 pretzels in there, right? 25 fucking dollars, dude. Go fuck yourself.
Alright, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Merkak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect feeding sheep of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai with sincerity, truth, and charity. I'm the brother Barak. Lord willing, this be another edifying lesson. And yeah, so this is we're at the end of this thing, bro. And it's great to see that the prices. It's crazy because it's just funny seeing these things that we've been speaking about. They're happening, and it's only getting worse out here, right? This is the book of Matthew 24 and 22. It says, "Except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened," right? So the Lord, he's speeding time up for the sake of his elect, right? And we're continuing to prophesy against the downfall of this devil society, right? So the Lord, we keep sending those prayers, right? You brothers, you can send up prayers for the Lord speed things up, right? The time is faster now. The days are going by faster, right? And with that, more of these prophecies are going to come to pass, right? Right? And we're seeing with that, we're seeing the prices of food go up, right? And that's how we know we're at the end, where and it's going to get worse, right? People can still buy things, right? But it's going to even get worse out here, right? It's going to get to a point where things will no longer even be purchasable, right? Because of the collapse of this wicked man's society, right? His currency system is going to be completely destroyed, right? 2nd Ezra 16 verse 21, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion." Right? Right now, during this time, you can still buy things, You can still order Uber Eats. You can still go to certain, markets, right? Certain, what do they call those? Like, bodega markets, right? Subway, fast food. Like, you can still get food, right? And some places still going to be cheap, right? But it's going to be a point where it's, the scriptures speak about how the prices of food is going to literally cost you, like, for example, the price of wheat is going to cost you a day's wages, right? Salary, right? It's book of Revelation 6:6. It says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And that word penny goes back to the word denarius, right? This word it's not the same as a copper penny that or the American penny that's equal to 1 cent. It's not the same thing, right? Because if you go into the Strong's Concordance for this word penny, right, this is what it translates to. It says, a Roman silver coin in the New Testament time. It took its name from being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC, right? Let's go over. It says at the very end, it says, it would seem that a denarius was the ordinary pay for a day's wages, right? And we know that, modern day Rome, right, and modern day Babylon, right? They have been, the modern day version of these societies would be America, right? America is the reincarnation of Babylon and the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, right? That's why you see the dollar bill, it has Latin written on the dollar bill, right? Because this is the reincarnation of these same societies, right? And these societies have collapsed, right? Now we're seeing the collapse of this society, right? That's how the Lord, he sets things up, right? So this is what John the Revelator was basically seeing. He was seeing famine, right? He was seeing the mark of the beast being implemented, right? And these things are going to lead to the mark of the beast being implemented, right? Because they're going to basically try to starve people out, right? During this upcoming next crisis, they're going to basically start, or these next crisis plural, right? Because it's going to be more than just one thing happening, and they're going to try to starve people out, and this devil's going to offer their solution, which is what? The mark of the beast, aka the RFID microchip, going to be implemented into the skin of your body, right? This is what this devil, he wants for the whole entire world. We have the book of Revelation 13 and 16, and it says, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Right? 666. And this devil, he uses that. That's his favorite number, 6. Right? And it's speaking about this devil Esau, Edom, right? Who's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Right, and he's going to try to get everybody to take that RFID microchip. Right? And you take that, you're destined for destruction. Right, you're going to be fucking destroyed, and you're going to see a lot of people take that, because going back, it says he calls it all, right, and it's both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, right, and free and bond meaning what? You're a prisoner, or you're free, right? Free or you're a prisoner, right? Rich and poor, you're rich and poor, right? Small and great, right? You're in the lowest of the society, or you're the very upper echelons of the society. This devil, he's still gonna try to chip you, right? It doesn't fucking matter, and he's gonna come out with lots of different benefits. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised they start saying, you can get out of jail. Or you can get a free burger, a free meal, or free, 5 month supply of food if you take this. Or if you could just take this chip, right? We're gonna add $500 of spending into your digital ID as long as you take this chip, right? Because this devil, he has to, that's the way he does things. He needs to, he has to convince people, to take that chip, right? Or he has to cause people to take that chip, right? Either by starving them out, right? Giving them a crisis, right? Making prices, of things extremely high, right? Ultimately, this is all part of the Lord's plan, right? But we're seeing these prophecies happen, or we're seeing the downfall of this devil society, and good, because fuck this punk ass, stupid ass, retarded ass society, right? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 7. It says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the downfall of his enemy." Right? The Lord, he's reserving certain judgments for the wicked, right? I'll bring out a clip from the brothers from GMS Chicago, right? This is a good point that they made.
Is that the Lord is preserving these dudes. Because I believe this is, I'm speaking as a man right now, a lot of these guys that were top level scoffers, scorners, really bucked up against us, the Lord is literally preserving them to the very end so they can see all the chariots, brothers getting delivered, and then seeing the missiles come down, bro. And they just and in their mind they're gonna remember all that shit, and then they're just gonna be like, damn, I fucked up. Right. And then just see fire coming at them.
Oh yeah.
Right, so a lot of people that scoffed of the men of Yahweh Shemyoshai, right? Or these people that scoffed, the Lord is preserving a lot of their judgment for the end, right? This is book of 2 Peter 2:9. It says, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished, right? These wicked ass people, a lot of them are going to get destroyed via nuclear fire and famine, or by the sword, right? And during the time of Jacob's trouble, right? But these people, they're going to get destroyed, right? But the Lord, He saves a certain judgment for them, and it was a good point that the brother made in the clip that I provided, right? Basically, the Lord is going to allow some of these people to see, right, the men of the Lord, get beamed up into the chariots, right? The hiding place of the Lord, right? And get us, right? When they see us getting beamed up into those chariots, they're going to see, they're going to be, basically, they're going to be like, oh shit, right? And Lord willing, we are those men that get beamed up in those chariots, right? Lord willing, we are those men, right? But these people, when all of a sudden when they see the men of the Lord being saved out of this place, right, receiving salvation, they're literally going to be, they're going to be bewildered. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of His salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Right? Because these people, they don't really believe that these chariots are going to come, beam us up out of this place. Right when those nuclear missiles hit, right before those nuclear missiles hit, we're going to get beamed up. Right? These are the things we have to have faith in, right? Because what faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? The evidence of things not seen. So fuck these people if they don't believe, right? And the Lord, He made this earth for His elect to inhabit, right? And His sincere followers, right? The Israelites, right? Because if you're a heathen, you're an Edomite, you're a Gentile, right? That's not an Israelite, right? Because when the scriptures speak about Gentiles, right? There's two types of Gentiles. There's the Israelites, right? That took on the customs of the Gentiles, right? They were actually blood Israelites. They just started looking like the Gentiles. And then you have the actual Gentiles, which are, heathens, right? The Lord only made this earth, right? Earth to come for the Israelites, right? This kingdom is for the Israelites. The rest of these heathens are going straight into captivity, because this time period that they have right now, where they can run free and basically do whatever they want, this was their time, right? This was their time of the time of the Gentiles, right? And that time is coming to an end, right? This is Luke chapter 21 and 24. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Right? And that's going to our captivity that we're in right now, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners that will look like the heathens, right? But you look like the Gentiles, but you're an actual Israelite, right? Because there's a lot of Israelite foreigners out here that have been scattered among the heathen, right? Because Jake was out here, having sex with all these different heathen nations, right? And over time, we're gonna start to look like them, right? But your seed line still goes back to the seed of Jacob. But just getting back to the point, right? The time of the Gentiles is over, bro. Now you're seeing this devil's society literally crumble from the inside out. And there's literally nothing, he can do, right? He can try to hold on. He can try to grasp on. But, it's every day we're getting closer to the downfall of this devil's society. Right? And these people, they still believe their houses shall live on forever, right? But it's over for them, right? You have these people saying, in the next 20 years, I'm going to see my grandchildren, right? Or in the next, 5 years, I'm going to make this amount of money, right? I'm going to get this job, and I'm gonna hit this number on the bench press, right? Man, fuck what these people think, bro. Your society is coming to an end, and soon it's gonna hit to a point where basically all hell is gonna break loose, right? And this is in no particular order, but you're gonna start seeing blackouts, right? You're gonna see, actual famines. The shelves on the stores will be literally fucking empty. Right? There's not going to be no more eggs, chicken breast, right? There's not going to be, there's not going to be your fucking, you'll be lucky if you find one of those, packets of ketchup, packets of mustard on the bottom of your fucking countertop, right, from 2007, right? You'll be lucky if you find one of those fucking, a fucking Tootsie Roll, right? Just hidden in the back of your fridge from, Halloween from 2014, right? These people are they're really gonna starve out here, bro. The Lord, He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it so these people really, feel the pain, bro. Right? So, it's gonna be real bad out here. Right, you're starting to see prices. You're just looking at the price of these items. Right, you're seeing Doritos, $5. Right, I remember a bag of Doritos was $1, even less. Right, you could get a whole box of those chips for like $5. Right now you have one bag of Doritos for $5. You have fucking ground beef, $30. You have 10 slices of cheese for $10 for $7.99. For $7, man. You have 10 eggs, $6. Fuck, these people, man. It's good, man. Tawada Yahweh Shem Shai. Tawada Yahweh Shem Shai for bringing judgment to these people. And speeding things up, right? So that's all I have to say. Lord willing, this be another edifying lesson. Speaking about these the collapse of this devil society, right? With that being said, I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakodesh, and double honors to the apostle and elders at Great Millstone who teach and roll well, and peace and salutations to elect out there feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, with sincerity, truth, and charity. Shalom.